I wanna be with you always, 'cause that is what my heart says. That's what my heart says. I wanna be with you always. You are my world in every place.
What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with my husband Vinny, and today we are going to be doing a Tipsy Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me over on my Instagram any personal questions that you guys might have, and we have a lot. I tried not to like read them too much because I wanted it to be like our authentic answers, so we will start now. Where did you meet Vinny?
We went to high school together.
I never saw you in high school though. Like do you remember ever seeing me in like the actual high school?
No, where were you from?
I know, because I'm just letting you know, I never saw you in high school. Like I never.
As far as I know, we went to the same high school. We
had mutual friends, so a lot of his friends, my group of girlfriends at the time, we were, well, I still have friends, Michelle, and we would hang out with a lot of his friends, and so we would see each other at parties.
Yep.
What is Vinny studying in school?
Applied mathematics and statistics.
Do you guys get sick of each other? I don't think so. I've been liking seeing everyone's quarantine schedules. So like they'll say like, okay, so we'll wake up, have breakfast together, and then we'll go in separate rooms and work from 10 to 6. And like, we don't really do that. Like even if there's stuff that we have to do when we're home, like him school work, me editing, we still be together the majority of the day. And like sometimes we'll take like an hour, like Vinny will go upstairs or I'll like put headphones on, but we're together 99% of the time. Like
we're attached at the hip.
We bicker a lot, which I think everyone that lives together bickers a lot, but we bicker just as much when I'm working and you're in school full time versus quarantine. Like I don't think it's gotten like worse. No. Like I think it's been like the same as usual.
Consistent bickering.
I don't think we even bicker that much though. It's like typical bickering, like the haircut for watching that footage. So when we went on our honeymoon, we went away for 3 weeks, and I really felt like at the end of the 3 weeks, we were going to be like dying to come home and just be homesick. And like we weren't at all. Like we don't get sick of vacations because like, this is gonna sound really corny, but like I think it's because like when I think of home, like you're
I know, it's
so corny, but it's true. I didn't really find myself like missing anything. Obviously we missed Beasley, but other than that, so
yeah,
we really
if it wasn't for Beasley, I don't think we would have came back.
Remember the
morning? Well, we would have still been in France because that friggin' airport.
I think I do want to go to Nice, France.
I think it's nice.
Nice?
Yeah.
And I want to go to Bordeaux.
Well, if we're doing like
the whole world.
Yeah, I said that.
You said England, you didn't say France.
Yes, I did. You didn't listen to me. I said England, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, France.
Belgium?
Yeah, you didn't hear that one either.
All right, anyway, I remember specifically the last morning of our honeymoon. I remember you were like, I don't want to go home, I'm having fun. And I was like, me too. Like, we did not.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so, like,
I could travel just forever.
Like, I know someone's like, do you guys get bored? And you guys, I'm like, no, like, we don't really get bored.
No, it sounds pretentious, but we really don't.
Yeah, no, it does sound pretentious, but like, we don't get like sick of each other.
It's because of our mutual hate for everybody else.
Yeah. Do you feel like you missed out on a part of your 20s for getting married so young?
Nope. Not at all.
Like a lot of people are like, oh, don't you want to travel? It's like,
I travel with my butt.
I think we travel more than most people. So we had like our dream wedding and honeymoon, and I actually like that because I feel like it was almost like a relief knowing that that's over. I think a lot of people at our age, they're thinking of how they're going to have to pay for like a wedding and a honeymoon and a down payment, and we got that stuff over with, where if anything, I feel like I
don't understand like what else. Like, what else are we missing?
We do? We still go out a lot. Like, we'll go out with my friends or his brother. We'll go to, like, a bar that's, like, kind of clubby every once in a while with each other, and we, like, hate it the whole time. Like, I would not want to be there single. Like, it's just not really our thing.
I just never understood the whole, like...
club scene?
No, like... Oh, you're missing out in your 20s.
But the whole point is
doing everything in my 20s that everybody wishes they could do.
Well, right. So, yeah, I definitely don't feel like that at all. What would you guys do right now if you won the lottery? They didn't say an amount. Is it like a $5,000 lottery?
$5 lottery scratchy ticket? I'm buying another scratchy ticket. I think everybody means like 10 million. I would buy a large piece of land in Maine. Yep. And I'd get a monkey.
Me and Vinny's plan, if financially able to do so before we have kids, travel like around the world. We would like to go to like 30 countries in like 5 years. I would like to go away for like 2 months at a time.
Yeah.
It'd be great if in like a year or two, we'd be able to like travel for like 2 months at a time, come home for a month, 2 months at a time, go home for a month, for like 5 years until we have kids.
I just wish you could have kids at like when you're like 80.
I know. I'll just go to that question now. So a lot of people are asking, when is there going to be babies? Do you guys want kids? How many kids do you want? We do want kids. I'm 24 and he's 26. We only want 1 or 2. I would love twins and just to like knock it out all in one. I would be ecstatic if in like 6 years I was 30 and he was 32 and we just had twins and we just like called it a day. I don't really care if it's a boy or girl. I definitely do get a lot of people asking when we're gonna have kids, but not as much as I think if we lived somewhere that was a little bit more like conservative, small town. Obviously, if we got pregnant right now, like we'd make it work, we'd be happy. It's just there's a lot of things that we want to do first.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of countries. Like that's part of the reason I want to start YouTube again. We want to hit like Hawaii, Thailand, Tahiti, French Polynesia, Europe, like literally anywhere you could think of. I want to go to like Istanbul, Turkey, like wherever you could think of, I want to go. So yeah, we got things to do. This is a good one because we just started seriously talking about this recently. Do you guys plan on moving away from New York?
Hopefully.
So here's the thing. I really do love our house, and if we were to stay in New York, I would be completely happy staying here.
I like New York because it has everything.
I love where we live. Like our town specifically, we do like a lot more than the town we grew up in and the town we had our apartment in. Like this is my favorite town on Long Island where we are. It really is just like
it's too expensive.
So expensive. On YouTube especially, I feel like whenever you see like YouTubers like new construction houses that are like 7 bedrooms and they're like brand new, that house is cheaper than our house right now before we did any work on it. So if you guys saw the video where I showed you guys what this house was like before we did any work to it, this house is more expensive than new construction for most people that live in like Texas or something like that. Even if we were able to pay off our house in full, our taxes are still like an SUV a year.
So if we could move somewhere where we could get a lot of land,
right,
for around the same price as this house.
Plus. Well, and also here's another thing. So the thing is like, this is where it gets hard, and this is the only reason we started thinking about it, because we used to talk about it and then we were like, we actually probably wouldn't do that just because of like my job. But our whole thing is like, hypothetically, so Vinny is going to be getting a degree in something that can a lot of times be done online, and obviously hair, I would never try and do hair somewhere else. I love my clients and I would only want to do it here, but let's say YouTube or just anything in general where we could make a living from our computer and it be a somewhat similar to a New York salary, it'd kind of be stupid to stay here just because it's like, if we're working from our computers anyway, why not do it somewhere else?
We work to live, not live to work.
Yeah, that's 100% true. We're not one of those people that's like, oh, the grind doesn't stop.
The grind stops.
The grind stops. Like we
often and very frequently.
We're definitely not lazy. We just like living our life, like 100%. So
we like getting things over with quick.
Right.
And then having the rest of the day.
Right, 100%. And I feel like our minds change on this a lot. Either way, we definitely want a second property somewhere else. So even if we were to stay here and like keep this house like while we have kids and stuff, we're going to be getting a second house within the next 5-10 years in either Maine or Texas or somewhere like that where we can like kind of be like a summer, winter, anything house just to have that. But whether or not we want to like either sell this house or something is something that we change our minds on a lot. Because I know for you, even the other day, you were like, well, then again, you do have your business here. So like if you did like want to, like we always kind of switch on and off. So I love this house. I think once the kitchen's done and the backyard's done, it would be my dream house. It's just one of those things where it depends, like I said, if we can afford comfortably to live somewhere else, it does kind of make more sense. So we'll see. We definitely want to travel first. Oh, another dog.
Probably not for a very long time.
I don't think we're going to until we have kids at this point.
No.
Just because I feel like I love Beasley to death and we're obsessed with her, but we're trying to reduce responsibilities until we have kids. Okay, like when we had Beasley, it was kind of a year of suck until she became fun, just because all the potty training and the crate training and you can't go out to dinner. And as hyper as she may be, we can go to dinner and not worry. We can leave her with the whole house for 8 hours and she won't destroy anything. And with the dog, it's starting over. Also, his dad watches Beasley whenever we need him to, and he always says that he would if we had a second dog, but that's kind of a lot to ask for someone. So I kind of just feel like if we do want to be traveling so much until we have kids over the next couple years, then why not leave it comfortable like this? We'd get another dog when we have a kid, I think, because then I think it'd be cute for like a kid to grow up with a puppy. But I'm definitely confident like Beasley's gonna be great with when we have kids. I know that for a fact. She's not aggressive in the slightest. So I think I'd rather just stay with her for right now, because you also don't know how another dog would make your dog react. Oh my God, is that a contracting glove? This is what I mean. Come here. Where'd you get that? Are you showing that? She's showing you it.
Oh.
And now she's rubbing her body all over it. What advice would you give about buying a house? By the way, I love watching you guys.
I don't know. You're the one that really handles all the financial stuff.
If you're buying it alone,
find a good real estate agent.
Yeah, I loved our real estate agent. He was awesome. But also, if you're buying with someone else, one of you needs to be the realistic one. I'll bite pessimistic one and one of you needs to be the more like optimistic one, but sometimes you can get a little far-fetched. The reason you need both is because if it was up to Vinny, he won't pull the plug on a lot of decisions, so he would just be stuck there forever.
Paralysis by analysis.
What's that?
It's when you overthink something so you never do anything.
Yeah, so like that's how he is versus I'm a lot more like there was 5 houses before this one where I was like, no, that's the one. I'm happy that we kind of balanced each other out, but honestly the biggest thing is just know what you can afford. There's a lot of different like calculators online which are really fun to look into. What you bring home after taxes and everything, your mortgage and taxes should only be 1/3 of that. Take your time. Like we looked for maybe 4 months, but we were planning on looking a lot longer than we did when we found this house. I really loved it, so I would just
know what you did.
What did I do?
You said, oh, we're just gonna look.
This was the first house where you're like, all right, let's put an offer on it.
Yeah, it's a nice house. All the other ones were sliding off of it. One was sliding off of a hill that you wanted.
I loved it.
Yeah, you weirdo.
I
One was right next to a train track.
That was the one that would have been like $3,000 more expensive a month.
Yeah. So.
Advice for buying a house, just know what you can afford.
Have a Debbie Downer.
Have a Debbie Downer, hire a Vinny. Your favorite thing about each other.
Besides your butt? Mm-hmm. Okay. Favorite thing about you?
Like personality, looks, anything.
Probably that you just do whatever the hell you want to do.
Elaborate.
I'm just not afraid to just do things.
So like the opposite of like the paralysis by analysis. I just go for it and don't really think about the consequences.
Yes, 100%. Everything you do, you just do it.
No, I like that. I'm gonna say a physical thing and personality. You know when you like truly laugh and like it's like a little giggle?
Oh, my squeak?
Yeah, it's so cute. Personality wise, he's extremely selfless and that's an issue. Like he doesn't really think about himself. His first thing is like how he's going to improve other people's, but not everyone. He hates most people, but the people that he really does care about, basically me, his dad, and his brothers. If he's about to get something, he just thinks about how he can like make other people's lives better with it, basically. So
that was nice.
What do you enjoy doing together?
Everything.
Oh, thanks, babe. Like, what's your favorite thing to like do together?
So I like going on vacation.
Yeah, but everyone likes going on vacation.
So like normal everyday stuff? Probably first waking up.
Really?
Yeah.
What about it?
I don't know, we're both just cranky and silly. So we just flop around and we both bother Beasley. And that's how we know it's time to get up.
I really like sitting outside with you. Sitting like in the back with you and like just having a few drinks either with like the fire pit or out in the patio and just having like silly talks. Do you guys split household chores evenly? And someone actually had a question about like how do you guys like deal with splitting household chores?
No.
No, I think
I do the dishes, she does everything else.
I'm completely fine with that. Okay, so
I build everything.
Yeah.
And I hang things up.
Someone also asked, what do you guys argue over the most? And I do think this is what we used to argue the most over too.
What do we argue the most about now?
I don't really think anything. But
oh, I know what we argue about the most.
What?
Miss pause the TV every 36 seconds.
Like you get mad and I'm like, okay, I'm not paying attention. So what we used to argue over the most was definitely, I think that, because I think it's very easy to be like, well, I do this more, and like, I do this more. I was watching a Q&A the other day on YouTube where someone was like, we don't have specified job. If I walked by, I'd do it, and if he walks by, he'd do it. I don't really think we work well like that. I think it works better if we have jobs. I don't think that's a bad thing. I hate dishes the most. We don't use our dishwasher. I just feel like doing the dishes is the worst task in the world. He does the dishes every day. Like usually after we have our coffee, he'll just like listen to his podcast and like do the dishes.
My sweep. Yeah, I'm the sweeper.
You do everything but do the laundry.
That was like an undesignated thing.
Yeah, like this morning I was editing, so he did the dishes, he sweeped, he Swiffered. Like,
we're both bad with clutter. We don't like clutter.
Yeah.
So sometimes if like the other person's relaxing and if I'm just up and I'll see like clutter, I'll just start straightening things out. But you'll do that.
Right.
But I'm more of the sweeper. I'm the sweeper and dish guy.
I don't remember the last time I did the dishes. I think the last time I did the dishes was for the clean with me. I'm the cooker, which I like cooking.
You're the cooker, you do the laundry.
Which is fine.
I'll do the laundry sometimes.
But like the laundry, like we don't really do it that much. Like it needs to be done a couple times a week. I think that if you calculated the hours cleaning now, you probably clean more.
Probably. Things
that we will do equal, bring out the garbage. I don't really care about that. Walk Beasley, we'll usually do it together. If she's just being a psycho and like he's studying or I'm editing, we'll do it. We don't have a good answer for this one. What do you guys do to calm down when you guys argue/fight?
We don't really calm down.
We don't.
The other person will just annoy each other into laughing and then that will kind of end it, i.e. me.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Abby will sit in the corner all grumpy.
If you're really mad, nothing will help.
No, we don't get into bad fight. No.
We've never broken up like for like a day or like got into a fight where it like was gonna be that. I would say maybe twice a year we get into like an actual fight where we like won't talk for a couple hours. I honestly feel like everyone's different. But what I've learned is, so like, I'm the type of, like, I'd rather talk it out. Like, if I had it my way, I'd rather talk it out until then he says, okay, well then I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. And like, it ends. That doesn't happen. It's one of those things where I could never like say something where you're like, wow, I never thought about that. You're like, that's never happened. Because most of the time we're both kind of wrong and we're both kind of right. So I feel like for the most part, usually like the other person just needs space. If it was over something stupid, then I'll just let it go.
If it's a silly fight, then I'll just annoy her to make her laugh.
Yeah, this is a good one, and I want to hear yours first. It said, what was your favorite part about your honeymoon? But we went to 3 different places. We went to Santorini, we went to Mykonos, and we went to Italy. So I would like to say our favorite part from each trip, and I think we'll have the same ones. So Santorini, go.
The wine trip.
At our like hotel pool, we met a lot of different couples from everywhere. One was from Philly, one was from the UK, and they're just like all over the place. So we were friends with them, and then one of the days we had booked a wine tour. So I remember when we were leaving the pool, we kind of didn't want to leave because we had made friends with our like hotel people, but we're like, all right, we'll go, we'll have fun. So we go on like the bus, and it's us and 3 other couples. And at first when we got in like the little van to take us to like the wine tour, and if you guys have ever seen Shameless, what was one with Jody? The older woman, Karen's mom.
Oh!
Sonia, Sherry,
no. Sheila.
Our wine tour person was like Sheila.
No.
Right?
The wine tour lady was awesome.
So she was so sweet.
I was your best student.
I know, because you're such a sucker. It was kind of awkward. Then the first wine trip, we're starting to like break the ice. By the second,
we're starting to see people chug their wine.
And we're like, yes.
Okay.
So it was one couple that they weren't engaged or married. They were young, from Canada. They were like 18, and she'd won the trip, so they were so cool. Another couple that was older, I think, not older, but like they were like late 30s, and they traveling the world.
They were seasoned European vets.
Yeah, like they were very like I said gyro, and she was like, you mean Euro? And I was like, sure. But they were really cool too. And then Brittany and Singh were awesome. They were just this couple that were our age from Boston. They got married the weekend before us, and they were just, everyone was so awesome. So by the second winery trip, we were just having a freaking blast. So we were having so much fun, and all of our friends from the hotel, we were meeting in Thera, which was like this little town that was kind of like the party town of Santorini. It was like a 20-minute hike from our hotel.
This was when the big soccer game between Liverpool and Tottenham.
Our friends in the hotel were from the UK, so obviously we're taking this really seriously. So that night we were gonna be meeting them in Thera. So we said to our winery friends, we're like, hey, listen, do you guys wanna go with us? And I thought maybe one of them would wanna go. All 3 of the couples were like, yeah, let's do it. So Sheila dropped us all off.
Yeah, I don't know if they were supposed to do that, but we were like, is there any way you could drop us off in like the main town at this one bar? She was like, yeah, of course.
McFaddy's. It was like an Irish bar. So we go there. All of our hotel friends are getting so along with all of our winery friends. There's pictures, and like our winery friends are like next to like the hotel friends. It was just so much fun. So we had like maybe like 15 of us, and me and Vinny were kind of like, we brought all these people together. Like, so
that was a really cool night.
What's Stacks on Love? Is it Swedish, or like what was that guy that was next to us at the bar?
It's a Scottish guy.
So we're at the bar. This massive, like scary looking Scottish dude like said something in his accent, and I'm like, hi! And Vinny's like, Abby, just stop. And he like the tiniest smile, and he was like, is that a New York accent? He's like, let me go to my girlfriend. And the girlfriend was like looking at it first, and then she was like, oh, that's so cool. Like I just feel like everyone was so much fun.
No, it was a really cool place.
That was just the best like day probably of my life. And other than that, we would go to our favorite gyro place, whatever.
Brought so many people to this one gyro spot.
I think they named their gyro after us.
After like the 4th visit with new people, the guy came out with like this like Greek vodka and started doing shots with us.
When we go back to Europe, I want to go back there.
Oh yeah.
I want to go back to Astra Suites. We could make a whole other video if any of you are engaged and planning your wedding, and if you want to hear a full video just on wedding planning and the honeymoon, I would totally want to do that, because when we first got to Santorini, it was a big culture shock because we were used to DR, so like this was not like that. But I don't want to get too much into that right now because I feel like this video will be 40 minutes old.
40 minutes old?
Like 3 hours long. Mykonos, go.
Favorite day in Mykonos? Oh, the first night.
Yeah.
When we met the Swiss people.
We're still friends with them. They're awesome.
Yeah. Mykonos is the party place in Greece.
It wasn't. It was, but it wasn't. It was the party place, but I felt like it was so try hard. We partied harder. We'll party.
Yeah, from the hours of 3 to 6.
Well, we're big day drinkers, but like we'll party, so like I don't think.
We'd get at the place and now you're like, why isn't there a party? And we'd leave at like 7:30,
okay.
And then at 12 o'clock at night, that's when like the clubs open up.
Right, but you're at a beach club. In Santorini, we met so many more people and like drank and partied way more there than Mykonos. So we were like, oh my god, I can't even imagine
Plus
there.
the drinks are like twice as expensive.
You're in Mykonos, you would think that every day would be like a huge like beach club party, and it wasn't like that.
That's the pretentious like party place.
So that's the thing. In Santorini, you see someone drinking and you're just like, hey, what are you drinking? And like Mykonos, everyone was very like.
Well, Santorini is more the honeymoon spot where people are like,
but you would
just
think that would be
got
pretentious.
married, so everybody's like super like high on married life and
Maybe.
their honeymoon, so everybody's like, oh my god, I just got married. So did I.
Mykonos is when you're 50 and you bring your new girlfriend that's 20. A lot of people, you could just tell they almost didn't want to be seen, if that makes, I don't know, like I just felt like it was
It's a very shady place.
Yeah, so the first day we were in Mykonos, so basically there was a guy for his bachelor party. He had like on like a bathing suit with fake boobs. He was from Switzerland. And he was on his bachelor party, and then all these friends, half of them spoke no English, half of them spoke like okay.
Nobody spoke English except for the main guy.
It was the first full day that we were there, and we really started being friends with them, and we ended up just getting trashed with them. Like so much fun. Our favorite was Eves, and he was just like, he reminded us of one of Vinny's friends here, and he spoke zero English, so we were using like the Google like speak to translate.
Google Translate. They were very nice. They rented like this like big booth out. And after like getting to know them, they like brought us into like that booth, remember?
VIP.
Yeah, it was like super expensive place to like go into.
Oh yeah, the drinks were like $30 for like less than this. That was a fun time, and I think that was actually the issue, is that the best day was the first day, because then the rest of the time we kept trying to like relive it.
The hotel was amazing.
Hotel was amazing, but we couldn't make any friends. I think the quality was amazing, the hospitality
That was the nicest hotel I've ever stayed in.
Oh yeah, the buffet, there were like fresh pressed
I would
juice
like
and crepes like every morning.
Go to get a drink, and they would like come by like, no, we got it. It was
They
like,
brought you a cake for your birthday.
oh, they did!
Yeah, they did.
They did, and you didn't even tell them.
No, I know, and I thought we were in trouble because remember they were like, are you room 406? And I'm like, we don't look like we should be here. Yeah. So before we go into Italy.
I'll just say it. So the whole time we're on our honeymoon,
could be like a whole different video. So Italy, we ended up having to get really close with the staff members. We were absolutely in love with them. We want to go back just to see them. Like
they're our family now.
I don't even want to like book a reservation, or if we did, I would ask the person booking it not to tell them, because I would just like to like go and surprise them and just like get their reactions.
We actually emailed them
to make sure
a couple weeks ago to make sure everybody was safe at the hotel after like the whole Corona thing. And they got back to me and they were like, oh my god, like it's so good to hear from you, like blah blah blah.
One of the guys, I don't know if he ended up going, but like the main young guy, he was going to come to New York for his honeymoon. He was like, can I come like hang out with you guys during our honeymoon? Like I want you guys to meet my wife. Like we just got...
Yeah, so we became very friendly with the staff in Italy. We didn't really run into any other like
couples.
Like couples.
No, I didn't
anything?
feel like, okay, so I don't know the thing. I feel like Santorini is very honeymoony, so it's a bunch of people on vacation all hanging out, versus Italy, I felt like it's almost like going to the city where it's like everyone is just doing their own thing with work, so you're kind of just immersed in their lifestyle, which is cool for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
My favorite day though, same as yours.
Is this the ice cream day?
The cooking class.
Oh, the ice cream day just popped in my head. Abby got a 24 euro
this
like
big ice cream,
30 stack
gelato.
Yeah.
In 100-degree weather.
This thing just started melting immediately. Anyway, cooking class was the best.
Cooking class was so much fun. So we basically booked
We're
a cooking
actually
class.
certified
Nobly done.
Nobly done chefs.
Yeah, so basically we had a travel agent who I highly recommend because she handled everything, and we accidentally, a bunch of other people booked like a pizza making class, and we accidentally booked like the fancy one, so it was just us in the cooking class, and we made pasta. It was just so much fun.
Italians are very friendly.
Oh yeah, they were so sweet. Santorini and Italy were our top favorite places. Like they were just amazing. What's your favorite body part of your hubbies? Smile, beard, thighs.
That's 3. But I'll take it.
I'm sure this video is gonna be like an hour long, so we got a lot of questions. We talk a lot. Each question we brainstorm for like 10 minutes. Ooh, what's your favorite drink to get out and bake to make at home? I love drinking questions. I love My top 3 favorite drinks for quarantine. Ready? Go. 1, Greyhound, grapefruit juice, vodka. You can't get the grapefruit juice that's like the pre-done one.
Fresh squeeze.
If you go to a bar and you ask if they have fresh squeezed grapefruit, you just sound like an asshole. If you don't want to fresh squeeze it, Stop and Shop sells whole fresh squeezed in-store grapefruit juices that they'll squeeze. No, they could see it.
No, they can't.
There you go. That they could like, they'll squeeze the day of, and that's a lot easier. So love that. It's so good. It's just something about it is very fresh, and I'm not a huge vodka person, but I absolutely love that. And even when I do go to the bar and I order it, it's obviously the cocktail version, but it's still really good. It just doesn't really give me hangovers as quick, and I love it. Second is my espresso martini, which I know a lot of you have been making, and it's espresso, Bailey's, and vodka. Third, the Palmeriabby.
Giving away my trademark.
Blackberry margarita mix, so it already has tequila in it. club soda, and white wine.
Flash of love.
I keep cutting that out. So, love that. So those are my 3 favorite drinks to make at home. To cut it out. What's my favorite drink to get out? If I'm at like a Mexican restaurant, white sangria. What do I order the most when we go out?
White wine sangria.
Yeah, I think that's honestly what I order the most. Sometimes I could order like a glass of white wine if I just want to be like not difficult. Or like a Corona.
Which is rare.
I like this one. And I don't know what you're gonna answer, so this is tough.
Neither do I.
What is your favorite part about married life compared to dating life?
Oh, I get to stay in more.
That was the same when we were dating. What's been different between dating and being married?
Dating and being married.
The issue is that we were living together before we got married. Living in sin. Basically, I don't know what, I mean, I know because I thought about it, but like what would you say is different about being dating versus married? What is your favorite part about the differences?
Probably just saying my wife.
I was mine!
Every sentence sounds cooler.
Dude, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the only thing that has changed for us and the thing that I like the most is being like, I'm my husband, everyone, to death.
Sounds so adult.
If you're from, right, if you're wearing your husband's shirt. If you're from a state where you can't live together until you're engaged or married, you might say your favorite part is living together, but we were living together long
what
before.
State can't you get?
No, not that you can't, but like if they're more conservative, the Bible Belt.
You could say it.
The Bible Belt. The Bible Belt.
The bubble belt.
The bubble belt. That might be your favorite part, but we lived together first already. So honestly, I would say the only difference is I could say husband and wife.
And I make her videos difficult.
It's okay. How much do you miss your friends? And someone actually also asked,
We're best friends right here.
Someone also asked if I have a good group of friends, and the answer is yes. My 2 absolute best friends in the world are Sam and Michelle. They are sisters. They were both my maids of honors, and they are my little angel heads. And my other best friends were all in like a group, and there's maybe 7 of us perhaps. And yes, I miss them, but we still try and do like FaceTime happy hours, and we talk all the time. So yes, I miss them so much, but we still talk all the time. What has been your favorite vacation together? The honeymoon. When did you get married and how old are you? So we got married when we were 23 and 25. Now we are 24 and 26.
So a year.
Yeah, it's next month's a year since we got married.
It's true.
Do you guys keep a routine on quarantine / set hours away from each other? No, I wish we did.
Set hours away from each other?
Well, like a lot of people will be like, wake up at 9, have coffee and breakfast till 10, work out till 11, and then work from 11 to 6, like working separately.
No.
I think it might be different if we had to legit work from home.
Well, I do my schoolwork.
Yeah, like if he has class, he'll go up, but like it's not set hours.
No, it's whenever I want.
Yeah, and then same thing. So what I've been doing is I've been filming one day, editing the next. I am an early editor. Like I can't relax if I know I have something to do. And even though YouTube doesn't pay me right now, I still treat it like it does in the sense that like, I treat it seriously. If we ever worked from home completely, I think then we'd get into like a schedule. Pet peeve about each other.
Pet peeve.
You have to have one. Wait, let's think for 10 seconds separately.
Yeah.
You have to have one. You can't just say, oh, I don't have one.
Oh, maybe when you're moody and you won't tell me what's wrong.
When do I do that? I'm very upfront.
Not as much as you think, honey. A pet peeve is probably pausing the fucking TV every fucking 36 seconds. That's it. And actually, there's a list. Stopping watching a show.
Okay, so pausing the TV.
Pausing TV. You stop watching a show, and then I'll finish it, and then you get mad that I finished it. You go, well, I wanted to watch that. I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't, girl. And there's no pet peeve that you have of me, because I'm perfect.
Well, I was gonna say, my pet peeve of you, when we start to fight, I could just tell that we're just like either overtired or stressed and it's nothing serious. So I'll just try and like end it. You just keep poking and you know what you're doing and you're like, you like purposely do it just to like bother me. And you're like, oh, it's okay, Beasley, Mom, it's just annoying. And I think it's something everyone does because I've seen other couples with pets do it. I'm like, oh my God, so you're all just so annoying.
I definitely use Beasley to my advantage.
Someone said, 2 people, how do you guys keep it interesting? And someone said tips on how to keep your relationship strong and fun after being together so long. And someone also said you guys have been together for over 7 years. How do you keep it from getting boring? I've always kind of said that I felt like we had like the longest lasting honeymoon stage. But in all reality, if you're a guy, you can't stop complimenting her. You can't stop like touching her. Like, I don't know, I've heard a lot of people
touching
say,
the butt.
I've always heard people.
Ain't your man no more.
I've always heard people
giving it to
say,
him straight.
I've heard people say a lot like, oh, I feel like we're roommates. He should be like damn, mommy, you're looking fine. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it goes both ways, so you can't stop showing appreciation. And I also feel like you can't let fights get disrespectful. And also, another thing, this is huge actually, and I don't know if this has to do with keeping it interesting, but I just, in my opinion, this is how I think a relationship stays strong very long. You can never disrespect each other in front of somebody else. And anyone that knows me, I'm very serious about this. My #1 tip is don't you ever, and it goes both ways, say something disrespectful about me in front of someone else, in the sense that if I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, the sky is green today, you have to be like, oh my god, what a beautiful green sky. Like, you can't be like, what are you talking about? That's not green. The #1 thing is you just always have to be each other's partner outside, even if you don't agree with them. When you get back into privacy, you can be like, what are you talking about? When you're in front of other people, I don't know, I just feel like that's like the first sign of just things not going too well. The other thing is affection and appreciation. Just never like stop. I appreciate you, I'm supportive of you, I'm proud of you.
Touching of the buttocks.
Yes. Oh, I forgot a question that somebody asked. Last question. Now, this is the last question. Somebody asked, did Vinny think it was weird when you wanted to start doing YouTube, and how did you convince him to get on board with it?
Yes.
I don't know what you were saying yes to.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I just, at first it was weird because it's like you're bringing a camera, and at first I thought it was like, oh my god, there's gonna be a camera on me at all times.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's super annoying.
I think that's a common thing that people think too. Like, gonna think like it's not there and it's gonna be there.
Right,
No.
like you're gonna be like, oh my god, like I'm bringing like
in the shower.
That's my OnlyFans account. You're thinking like you're just gonna be like the Kardashians and there's gonna be a camera.
A paparazzi on
Yeah,
you.
but it's definitely not like that. So I thought it'd be like bringing the internet into your whole like life. But
whatever you want to keep private, you can keep private.
yeah, plus, I mean, there's not much private anyway.
Well, that's the thing. But I've actually had a lot of people say, like, this isn't even questions on Instagram, this is more clients, what they said to me. And I know girls from my high school that I graduated with, they're gonna make fun of you. They're going to, but they're gonna make fun of you no matter what you do. So you might as well just do something, because even if you do absolutely nothing, they're still going to be talking about you in a group chat. So you might as well just do it. My client was like, oh, my boyfriend's worried about his friends are gonna think, like, why? That guy was probably licking a tabletop at the bar and people are making fun of him for that. I'm saying, like, who cares? Like, I don't know. And also too, like he said, nothing's private anyway. The people that are making fun of you for having a YouTube account are also going to be posting every little thing to their Instagram story anyway. What really is the difference?
Just in my living room eating popcorn anyway. But it's not as intrusive as you think it's gonna be.
When we started doing YouTube, I was a little shy about it, and so I like didn't know if I wanted to post it on my Instagram story, but it makes it worse if someone's like, oh, I saw your YouTube, and you're like, oh, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, it's so much less awkward and weird if you're just upfront about it. We saw our neighbors in Stop and Shop once, and like they were kind of looking at our camera and they didn't really ask anything. We already talked about it, and we're like, oh, if they were to be like, what'd you have? Like, oh, I don't know, it's YouTube, it's kind of weird. Like, no, like, oh, she has a YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
Yeah, don't make it weird and they can't make it weird. Do not give a flying crap. Right?
Flying crap. Don't give them. Oh, I thought you were pointing at me.
I mentioned the Jake Gyllenhaal story and someone asked me to say it and I completely forgot to say it. So I'm gonna say it now. When I was but a wee 19-year-old girl, I used to go to 18-year-old Lassie. I was working at a salon and they offered free education every Monday. So we'd go to like wherever they were offering the education. It was like somewhere on Long Island that was like 30 minutes away. So I went there, and before we went on our lunch, I thought she was kidding at first. She was like, just so you guys know, Jake Gyllenhaal is shooting a movie on set right here. They're like using the space. So like if you go out to like 7-Eleven or something for lunch, I'm just letting you know there might be like some things like blocked off. And like we thought she was kidding at first. And she's like, no, like I'm serious, like it might be blocked off. So I'm like, okay. I went out for lunch. I think I got pizza. Like I didn't have any friends there, so I was just by myself. It was like an industrial type of, like not a parking lot, but it was like an industrial area. So like there was a lot of like big work trucks. I was driving back to the place and there was a huge Dasani truck or something like that parked in front of me with its hazards on. So that's when you would go around them, and this guy in like an SUV or something like that, he was with his hazards on, like talking to the guy. I kind of was like, what are you doing? Honking at him, and he's looking at me and he's like putting his finger up, and I was just like, so I go to pass him and he looks at me and I stomped on the brakes and my mouth fell to the floor. It was like Jake Gyllenhaal and he was laughing at me because I was just honking nonstop, screaming at him to go. So I'm just looking at him and I couldn't think of what to say, but I wanted to be like, I love you. He was literally just looking at me, but he was kind of like laughing. Then I didn't know what to do, so I just drove away. It was just so funny because you could tell he was shooting a scene where he had to drive a car. Then the truck driver was probably like, oh my god, you're Jake Gyllenhaal. And I was sitting like, go! At the time, I'm like, He loved me. He had a crush on me. I saw it in his eyes. Meanwhile, if you saw me at 19. But every time he was in a movie after that, I was like,
the one that got away.
You win. I hope you guys enjoyed what is probably an 80-minute long video. We obviously can talk non-stop. This is why both of us never get anything done. So if you guys would like another video of our wedding stories, of our honeymoon stories, of literally everything, let us know, because I love filming videos with you and you're a pretty good talker.
We like our fireside chats.
Ooh. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And that basically does it for today's video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment down below if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Beasley. Beasley. Beasley.
Hi. Can we help you?
Can you go lay down and then we'll hang out after?
I've always...
I've always... Just let me talk.
I'm so sorry.